take care of some business. Call to order the Village Zoning Board of Appeals on Thursday, June 20th, 2017. We have 3 orders of business tonight. July, June, you know, they have their own months together. Thank you for the correction, though. We have 3 items on the agenda tonight. There's actually 4, but I think the first one's already been taken care of to sign the oath book. We've taken care of that. The second one is review of the meetings minutes from our 6:15 meeting. They are in front of you, and I think you all have them. What I'd like to do is take care of that right off the bat. If we have any addendums to that, or modifications, or if we choose to make a motion to accept the meeting minutes as written.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes as written.
Bill's made a motion, seconded.
I'll second.
Michael seconded. We're all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? There we go. Meeting minutes accepted as written. Now, 2 items on our agenda remaining. Both of them are asking for a variance or some form of relief. First one is Miss Lisa McCarthy, 36 Fuller Avenue. I'm not going to read the tax ID number. Seeking to build an open front porch approximately 10 feet by 16 feet off the front of her house. What this will result in, and you help me out here if I've got this right, what this will result in is you're already at 30.11. Code requires a 40-foot setback, so you're looking for 19.9-foot variance, 20 feet, I won't give it that, 20-foot variance from the 40-foot setback. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Lisa, why don't you tell us what you're trying to do, why you need to do it, and why there's no other way to do this within the existing regulatory framework. And I say that to everybody, so just tell us what you're doing and why you want to do it.
Well, I got the idea.
Oh, hold on one
What?
second. Bill reminded me of one thing. We are normally a board of 5 people.
Okay,
To pass any motion here, there has to be an affirmative vote of 3 people. We are short 1 person. He quit, he went away someplace, I don't know what he did. But he's no longer with us. So what that means is that if the board splits, the motion wouldn't carry, it doesn't get defeated. I'll give you an option to come back. We're hoping to appoint a new person within 30 days. I'll give you an option to wait for that and come back. I will tell you that if we don't take any action within 62 days, the motion is carried anyhow, so it passes. Or you can proceed to choose to go on tonight with the 4 board members that you have.
yeah.
Going ahead with us. Okay, Lisa, tell us what you want to do, and thank you.
Well, I got the idea from my neighbor across the street who built a front porch off of his house about 5 or 6 years ago. I just want to extend the front porch, or the house out and build an open front porch. As you said, 16 by 10, so it'll be pretty center to my house. Just for more or less enjoyment. I live on a great street with great neighbors, and when I sit on my back deck, I don't often see them, and we talk a lot. I was telling Gary, I walked up here and I met 3 of them just walking up here. Are you on the way to the board meeting? I was like, yes, I'm on my way.
That's great. I think porches are, front porches in particular add to a community. They really do. I had a couple of questions on this, and this may just be the drawing. I noticed something on the back, and there's nothing here that looks like it says patio porch. Is that something that's already there?
Yes.
Okay, so we're not dealing with that.
Right.
That's good, so we're just dealing with the front porch. My questions are all answered. Anyone else on the board have any questions that they'd like to ask Lisa?
So are you gonna be removing that front bay window as part of this, or is that just gonna kind of jut out?
That's
the
gonna just
side?
blend right in. The roof is gonna come over top of it.
Okay.
It's just gonna cover it.
Can I ask a question of Will? Do we have variances on most of the houses on the street for the setback?
No, probably what ended up happening when, anybody who got a front porch immediately got a variance, well, they came to request a variance. I believe the code changed sometime after those houses were built, making them all pre-existing, non-conforming, basically. So that's why if you look at the bulk information specifics in this little Excel spreadsheet format, I did the math here and took the average. If you look at the code, it says you take the
You
average.
did that one? I saw that. I
Hey,
wonder who did that.
I do this. That's how I roll. But when we addressed it with the planning board, we figured 30 feet and granting a 20-foot front setback just to give a little fudge room. So the average was like 30 feet. So we said, okay, that's their setback. They're going to be encroaching into that 10 feet, which gives them the 20 feet.
You checked with all your neighbors within 500 feet? Anybody have any objection or raise any objection to it? As is pretty clear from the fact that no one came. Right.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Okay. What I'll do is I'll close this portion of it. I'll open it up to the general public, see if anybody wants to comment for or against this portion, this particular project.
Rick Welder, 20 Elm Street. I'm in an older section. I love porches. Build it.
There we go. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. No other comments from general public? I'll close that portion. We can either have a discussion, we've had a pretty open discussion thus far, or I'll entertain a motion for or against.
Well, I
Bill.
have a question for David. Should this variance be 10 feet or 20?
20.
20,
20?
yeah.
The
Yeah,
other
it can be
thing-
20 foot from the, 20 feet from the lot line, it's a 20-foot area.
Okay, so as we close that portion, David dutifully reminded we have to deal with the seeker issues. So first off on the seeker issue.
I'll make a motion that the zoning board be declared the lead agency in this matter, and it is a type 2 action under secret.
Motion by Bill, do I hear a second?
No, second.
Seconded twice, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Very good. So we'll do that part. Now we will deal with the variance itself. What we are looking for, if we choose to go down that path, is a motion for a 20-foot variance, which would allow them to come out with sufficient distance to build this particular porch.
Time out.
Yes?
We're in discussion here, I'm sorry.
Okay, I may have misspoken, misled the board. It may be a 10-foot variance after all.
Do you know where the door is?
I just signed my oath.
It's not a 40-foot setback then?
No, remember it's the average. In this particular case, if the other house is within 300 feet or something like that, whatever the rubric was here. Yeah, within 300 feet, you take the average. So I took the average was 30 feet, which was that extra sheet I added to the application, yep. So that means we're using 30 foot as the benchmark. They're encroaching 10 foot into the 30 feet.
Okay. So based on what David and Will just told us, I would just say that, we let the record show that we're using a 30-foot average setback for the houses that exist along that area. Therefore, the variance that would be needed would be a 10-foot variance. And with the clear intention of the board, if we go down that path, to allow building of the front porch as requested by the applicant. Go ahead and try and repeat that.
Make a motion to grant the 10-foot variance at, what's the property, 36 Fuller Avenue?
Okay, we have a motion on the table to grant a variance, a 10-foot front yard setback variance using the 30-foot average provided by Will and in the packet to allow for the building of the front porch as requested by the applicant. Do I have a second?
That's not good.
Bill is seconded. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? None. Very good. Good luck with it. I think front porches are great.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Okay, next up on our agenda, Mr. Michael Conroy, Five Star Portfolios Incorporated, 2325 West Main Street. The applicant seeks a special use permit for an apartment above 25 West Main Street in the central business zone pursuant to section 175-72C of the village zoning. It is currently property is zoned central business. You are Michael.
I am.
Michael, thank you for coming down. Why don't you tell us what you're trying to do and why we need to go down this path?
So I am purchasing this property actually Monday, is my closing date. And as a local investor looking for the property's best use. There is a apartment up there that's not being used as an apartment. I think at one time it may have been. And right now it's just office space for game craze that he's currently not using. So I'm asking to make best use of all the space that is available there.
So you're seeking a special use permit to turn it back into an apartment?
Correct.
Let me understand this. If it was an apartment, how did it stop being an apartment even if they used it as a office?
If that use is abandoned
For?
for one,
I think it's,
I'd have to look, it's either 6 months or 1 year.
Clearly we meet that, yes.
Yeah. Under our code, then.
Then it goes back to whatever the zoning allows in that particular area.
that's correct.
Right, in this area, you need a special use permit for residential use.
Okay. Let me ask Will a couple of questions. Code issues, code violations, problems with that particular property?
Nope, actually, I went through the property with the applicant, at least the upstairs portion. I'm familiar with the downstairs portion because my son frequents there for the games. But the upstairs portion, I took a look, and it's still, for all intents and purposes, an apartment that they just use to store stuff in, really. So it still has the kitchen, it still has the bathroom, still has the furnace room. It's very similar to what you see in the picture.
Yep.
Here. So, and the only thing I said to the applicant here, Mike, is that they just need a smoke detector, carbon monoxide detector. It has its own exit out of the building, so it meets all the requirements that I would require as a building inspector.
How many exits out? Curiosity here.
I'm sorry?
How many exits out?
Just one.
That's all it needs.
Yeah, it's only one apartment.
Okay.
I might add that it does have a fire escape and egress windows.
Yeah.
There you go.
Jumped out.
It's a second
The
means.
house, it's certainly appealing to me when I looked at it.
Yeah.
That's right. Emergency egress.
The other businesses in the village in the general area have similar uses in the areas above their apartment, or above their retail locations?
Yeah, and I think,
Not all, but they're,
I don't know if how long ago it was. I remember the change when it came. Boy, it had to be when I was really green, when they changed the code to say, to put it in the special use permit portion of it to have residential above in the central business district. Because in the comprehensive plan, they said, that's the direction we want to go in as a village. We want to have that look or occupancy within the central business district. One kind of complements the other, you know, to have the residents above and the retail or commercial below.
perfect. You answered my second question, which was, is it consistent with the master plan or the, yeah. Okay. Other questions from folks on the board? Anyone raise an objection to it when you notified within 500 feet? or whatever this particular area requires. Any objections?
I didn't receive any objection. I can't speak from Bill.
If he'd pay attention.
I'm sorry,
It's tough to keep him focused.
6 months. 6 months is the definitive answer.
Very similar to what we did with drive-throughs here most recently.
That's correct.
Yeah, okay.
Well, were any letters sent out to, did you send out?
First, for a change of use, are they required?
I mean, there's no visual impact, no monetary impact, there's no, I couldn't see any kind of negative impact on the other businesses and so on. That would have to be a positive impact to have it occupied. So I didn't see the need to have that. It's in the central business district. They're not bordering any residential. So I didn't see the need really to have that.
No, I agree, but I'm curious when we should send out notices and when we should not.
When I say so.
You said so, that's why he didn't send them out.
No.
So I,
Why'd you do
I,
that? Don't do that, because that makes it sound so negative. I might have been a positive thing. No,
I agree.
it's basically, the way I look at it is, if there will be any kind of, if you look at the 5 criteria kind of, if it's gonna have any kind of impact, whether it be visual, aesthetic, I don't know what else to throw in there, in your borderline to it, like a residence or something, or if it's a major, if they were building a building, or doing something major remodeling or changing something that would have a major impact, then I say, yeah, go ahead and mail out and so on. But something like this, I mean, nobody would see, nobody would know. I mean, one person living above game craze really, to me, doesn't, what I want to say.
So if somebody wanted to add a 3rd story,
Oh, yeah,
send out notices.
that would be a notice, yes. That'd be correct. The fire marshal and I would have a little talk with him.
I may add, I am a customer of Marge McCone at the vitamin store, which is number 9, just down the road. And she's aware of the acquisition, we talked about it. She's the only person I can say who didn't have any issues with it, but I wasn't asked to notify anybody, so I apologize if I knew that I had to do that.
No, that would have been, that's not on you, that's on either us or Will to do.
Well, Will's been very helpful. That's, like I said, I met with him at the premise and I wanted his feedback so that I knew what would be required of me. Besides getting the grant from you folks, to make it to code where they would want, where the fire inspector would be happy and we'd be happy.
Curiosity question, do you know where the rent sits at this, something like this?
It's a studio. It's probably gonna be somewhere around $650.
Okay, parking will be in the back on the lower level?
Yes, there is common area parking right next to the building as well, and the owner of the business Game Craze also has 5 designated spots.
Okay.
And one of his employees is actually interested in taking space. It works out.
So you will have a designated parking spot?
Yes.
Any other questions from members of the board?
I have none.
Okay, we'll close that discussion portion. We'll ask if anybody from the general public would like to speak for or against this particular applicant or application. All right, let the record show no one chooses to say anything for or against it. At this point, we can continue discussion. Hold on, I got a part here. Seeker. Do we have to do seeker on a special use permit? Yes. So, we need a seeker designation first.
I'll make a motion that the zoning board be declared the lead agency in this matter, and that be a type 2 action under seeker.
And second.
Motion out there and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? None? Okay, now we need the motion to grant a special use permit for the apartment above 2325 West Main Street, for an apartment.
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion on the table from Michael to grant a special use permit for an apartment above 2325 West Main Street. Seconded?
Yes.
Again, very good. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None? Good luck with that apartment. All right. While we're still in session, as everybody here knows, we're short one person. If you have potential candidates, here's what I'd ask you to do over the next week or so, is if you give an opportunity, talk to that potential person, see if they are interested. If they are interested, let me, or you can go directly to the mayor, let him know that you have a potential candidate for their review. What I'd like to do is get this thing filled relatively quickly. And the last conversation I had with the mayor was he was willing to entertain the option of, or the possibility of an alternate position also, so that if someone wasn't available or we had one of these departures, somebody could step in right away who was already sworn in. So if you have those, let me know. Go directly to the mayor if you want to. I'm good with that too. Just if we don't do something, I mean, I'm sure he's out there looking also. All right, last question. Anything on our agenda for August?
There it is.
Well, while he's thinking, there's a matter that I want to bring to your attention, the Brittany Woods.
My brain is full.
Okay.
I'm not so sure.
Brittany Woods has changed their site plan. They had trouble getting a permit for the cut off of Phillips Road apparently. So they're going to be, the plan is to eliminate an entrance onto Phillips Road. We are bringing them back for first amended site plan review, but it shouldn't affect the variance that's been granted.
Okay,
That's what
so they're moving it or they're eliminating it?
Eliminating it, they can't get it at all apparently.
Well, no, they can get it, but the state wants them to move it further south,
Oh,
closer
okay, yeah,
to Foster Drive.
we haven't seen anything on it.
Okay.
Closer to where it is now?
Yeah, yeah, right. Yeah, where the road cut is, right?
There is a road cut there now.
The
Yeah,
entrances, exits out of the place.
Yeah, I think the applicant
only
just
one
wants to
is up
eliminate
Phillips
the
Road.
entrance, the second egress. And I already talked to the fire marshal, he says it's not a problem. He says they have bigger area, they're more dense areas with one entrance exit, so.
He said probably, we're not gonna use the driveway anyhow, we're just gonna drive right over the grass to where the fire is.
I remember what the application is. You know, 40, well, discussing the merits of the case. 40 North Avenue, that's a lawyer speak there. It is where the barber shop is, Penny Saver used to, not the Penny Saver, who used to be in there?
Tenants Feedville.
The Webster Post used to be in there.
Yeah.
Remember they had that like sign?
Yeah.
Well, that fell down.
Yeah.
And so they need a new one. And so there's two options. One is freestanding, the other one's another pole sign, which with the space they have, I encourage them to go with the pole sign because of our plows. Sidewalk plows will destroy anything else, so. That's the one that needs it.
And I don't know if I was reading meeting minutes of the planning board or something. Maria's is trying to move. Does that have any implication on us?
Unless you like Mexican, it's closer to home.
Moving into what?
The old, what is it, law office?
The old law offices, I
Yeah,
thought that's what
34
it
Main
was.
Street.
Baker
Okay.
Electric.
What was that?
Baker Electric.
Holy cow, man, you are older than dirt.
Yeah, the sign on it right now says Barrett Law
This
Offices.
guy, you are like the unofficial historian of the village of Webster.
There used to be a yarn shop in there.
You're writing all this stuff down, aren't you? Seriously.
Okay, I think we are done. It looks like we do have a meeting in August, so it'll be the third Thursday in August. remember those potential applicants if you have any, and then right now we'll,
I'll make a motion that the meeting be adjourned.
very good. Seconded?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed or none? We are adjourned.